Hello, everybody. I'm Meg from Maison Jupiter and Beyond Mystic, and welcome to another edition of our weekly Beyond Astro forecast here on the Beyond Mystic 3 YouTube channel. Thank you all very much for watching and tuning in, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay of this video. Hope you're all doing very well out there. Let us know in the comments how you're feeling with the current energies. There sure is a whole lot going on, as we're going to talk about. So I hope you're all doing very well. And happy Sagittarius season. Yay, we are out of Scorpio season. Thank God. And I am saying that as a Scorpio. So usually I'm not so excited for Sagittarius season, but I think we've had a very intense and heavy Scorpio season, and it's very nice to step into the season of the Saggies. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to talk about the Mars square Saturn that we're having this week and the upcoming full moon in Gemini. So before we get into it, you guys, just want to mention a couple things. Oops, I forgot to bring up the channel here. Oh my God, I think I'm already feeling the energies of this full moon in Gemini, which is about relationships, as we're going to talk about, but also social media and the internet and stuff. So anyways, just want to say before we get started, please remember to like, share this video, leave a comment if you don't mind, and subscribe to the Jean-Claude Beyond Mystic 3 YouTube channel. We really appreciate all of your support in our family here, getting all our information out there to those across the world that need to hear it. And we've got lots of really cool content coming up, and that is all stored on the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel and Rumble channel as well. And also want to mention that I am offering personal astrology consultations, which are available over at maisonjupiter.com. And I'm currently offering 1-hour birth chart astrology readings, going deep into the magic and wisdom of your birth chart, and also 1 hour looking at your year ahead using the astrological transits, which that one can be done at any point in the year. It doesn't just have to be done at the end or beginning of the year, but it is a good time as we're ending a Gregorian calendar year to have a yearly personal forecast, or maybe gift somebody an astrology reading, just saying. And we've got the discount code, all in one word, Beyond Mystic, that you can use to get 10% off your next reading if you'd like more of a personal reading with me. Okay, so thank goodness for Sagittarius season. I'm going to make that like the theme, the headline for this video. We are now officially in Sagittarius season as of today, November 22nd. Yay, yay, yay. So happy birthday to all the Saggies out there. Happy birthday to all the November and December Sagittarians out there. It's an absolutely beautiful sun season, as we're going to talk about, a lot lighter than Scorpio. So we're going to be feeling a bit more of a lightness influence in the collective, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, we got a full moon this week that we need to talk about. So maybe it'll start getting a little lighter after this full moon. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about Sagittarius season, when the sun ingresses into Sagittarius season, and what that is all about. Sagittarius is a fire sign, and Sagittarius in astrology rules higher learning, teaching, guiding, luck, opportunities, expansion, foreign travel, foreign people, our beliefs and belief systems, expanded awareness, philosophy, spirituality, spiritual concepts and laws, and higher consciousness. So Sagittarius is one of the 2 signs in astrology ruled by Jupiter. Pisces is traditionally ruled by Jupiter, but its modern day ruler is Neptune, and Sagittarius's only ruler is Jupiter, which is the lucky ducky planet, very benefic planet. So when the sun enters Sagittarius season, it's bringing us lightness. It's bringing us expansion of our consciousness, optimism, luck, more enjoyment of life coming out of the depths and intensity of Scorpio season. And let's not forget, you guys, this Scorpio season that we just came out of, we had the ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, in the final degrees of Capricorn. We had an eclipse season, and we had a Mars cazimi, among other things. So this is not a normal Scorpio season. It was really, really intense. And coming into this Sun and Sagittarius season, I think after the full moon on the 27th, the days kind of after that, we're going to start to feel, the lightness of Sag. So it's a really great time of year to be meditating, okay, to be doing any practices that expand our awareness, any gratitude work, prayers, meditations, as Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of gratitude and expansion. So let me know how you guys are feeling in the comments about entering Sagittarius season, if you're feeling it at all yet. And it's beautiful today, Sun 0 degrees Sag. So we can, today and tomorrow be really feeling a little bit of a boost of that Sagittarius influence, love, light, luck, and positivity, which is really, really nice. But let's get to this week. We got a couple things that we need to tackle this week astrologically. So first of all, I brought up the chart for November 25th, 2023. And this is, what day of the week is this? Let me check. Saturday. So this is going to be a Mars square Saturn, exact on Saturday. Okay. This is a heavier aspect in astrology. We're dealing with Saturn, the planet of limitations, boundaries, structures, challenge. Okay. And Mars, the planet of conflict, energy, drive, our masculine side. So I want to preface this before talking about this aspect by saying we just had that Mars cazimi in Scorpio. Now we're having a Mars square Saturn, and we're also having Mars sextile Pluto this week. This is a lot of Mars influence. And also, I just realized in this moment, Spirit wants me to say, Mars is the dispositor of the North Node in Aries. So Mars is actually the ruling planet of the sign that the North Node is in right now, which is Aries. So whatever is going on with Mars, it has a really big effect on us because it's the dispositor of the North Node in Aries. So it is normal, you guys, with all this Mars influence to be feeling, and for all of us, we're completely unique. We all have individual, unique, physical bodies, physical health, masculine sides, things that Mars rule. For some of us, I know myself, I'm feeling really energized. I'm having a really hard time sleeping ever since that cazimi we just had. And I think coming into this Mars square Saturn. So some of us may be feeling overly energized and amped up, whereas others of us may be feeling really, really tired and lethargic. Okay, so just check in with how your body is feeling, because Mars has a lot to do with our physical health. And so this Mars square Saturn, Saturn is Pisces, and Pisces rules mental health as well, and our overall well-being, healing institutions. This is a week, I'm not a nutrition expert, but please take your supplements. Please take your essential oils if you have them. Do your earthing, get fresh air, because I think people can be more prone to and I don't wish this upon anybody. I'm just reading the astrology, getting sick in some kind of way, energy drain or over energy. So just paying special attention to your bodies at this time, okay, this week. And this square is going to be exact on Saturday. And people who are Aries or Scorpios, which are the two signs ruled by Mars, I think will be feeling this Mars square Saturn the most. Also the Capricorns and Aquariuses, of course, because they're ruled by Saturn, as well as the mutable signs, because this Mars square Saturn is happening in two mutable signs. Sagittarians, Pisces, Virgos, and Geminis can also feel this square strongly. So it's not just about our physical health, our masculine side. It's also about moving past limiting beliefs. okay, with Mars at a critical degree, 0 degrees in Sagittarius. Sagittarius rules our beliefs. And Saturn in Pisces, Pisces is very much about our sensitive side, our subconscious beliefs, our spiritual beliefs. So this is a week where we can be having personal breakthroughs with this Mars square Saturn in any limiting beliefs that we have. But because it's a square, there is some kind of challenge to it. There is some kind of, trigger to it. And it's important to note that this square is happening with these two planets, Mars, 0 degrees, and Saturn, 0 degrees, as I said, critical degree. So it's the strongest expression of those two signs. And what does Sagittarius rule? Well, Sagittarius rules spiritual teachers, philosophers, gurus, guides, higher learning teachers. And Pisces rather, the other sign is, spirituality and deception and illusion. So I'm going to make a little prediction here that either during the time of this square or even for the whole Sagittarius season coming up, I think we could very likely have some spiritual teachers, some philosophers, gurus, teachers that are popular in the mainstream being exposed. Saturn, reality check, karma. So whenever we've got Saturn involved, and this is at a critical degree square Mars, there's something being exposed regarding our personal beliefs, the collective beliefs, or people in teacher, guide, guru, philosopher positions, which is Sagittarius. And so let me know, you guys, in the comments, if there's something I'm not aware of, if that's already happened with somebody recently, or if you think something is stirring with someone, put that in the comments in regards to what I just mentioned. And it's also important to note that we are in the last Sagittarius season with Pluto in Capricorn for about 240-ish years. So Pluto is in the last degrees of Capricorn. In January, he's going to be ingressing into Aquarius all the way until September 1st, 2024. And then for just over 2 months, we'll be in Pluto in Capricorn for the very last time in like 240 years. So this is the last Sagittarius season with Pluto and Capricorn in our lifetimes. And Pluto, the destroyer, the revealer, the cleanser in Capricorn, a sign ruled by Saturn, is our systems, our leaders, our governments, our politicians, people in a leadership position. So there's definitely, I think, some people going to be exposed, or some healing institutions being exposed. That could be Pisces as well. Healing, medical companies, healing institutions. Pisces rules spirituality, artists, the medical field, medical companies, medical and healing institutions. So let's keep our eyes peeled for that, you guys. And also this Mars square Saturn is people having reality checks. Saturn rules reality checks about the fantasy world, Pisces, beliefs that they live in. Okay, so very good news that Sagittarius expands our higher consciousness naturally during this season. And I think during this Sag season, with this Mars square Saturn we're having this week, Pluto in the final degrees of Capricorn, we could be seeing people in our personal lives really start to wake up and expand their consciousness in ways that we haven't seen yet, and also the collective. So I think that that is very positive and exciting. And before we get into talking about the full moon in Gemini, I want to mention to you guys, very, very excited about this, that Julie and I have prepared these 2024 astrological predictions for all 12 zodiac signs. And this is going to be available on November 23rd. So I'm filming this Beyond Astro on November 22nd. It'll be available tomorrow from when I'm filming. And this is going to be us going over the most important energies for your year ahead. And Julie and I are very happy with how these have turned out. We're going to film the last few sign videos today, and we're so excited to launch these on Beyond Mystic Net tomorrow. So each of these videos for each of the zodiac signs for 2024 will be available as pay-per-view videos on beyondmystic.net. And if you are an Insider Access Pass member with Beyond Mystic, you're an IAP member, you're going to get all these predictions as a part of your membership. So that'll be included in the IAP. So we're very, very excited for you all to receive that would like to hear about your 2024 astrology from Julie and myself. So yeah, we've got Sun in Sagittarius, we've got Mars square Saturn happening this week, and we've also got a full moon in Gemini, okay, which this is really, really interesting because Gemini is one of the lighter signs in astrology, but we've got some pretty harsh, I'll say adverse aspects in this full moon. So I think it's going to be, as we come into the influence of this full moon, which is going to be on Monday, November 27th, when we get into, as the days progress into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to be feeling this more and more intensely. So first off, you guys, full moons are our times of natural release, cleansing, and illumination. Okay, so it's good for any kind of healing work, cleansing work around a full moon, meditation, reflection. And this full moon is in the sign of Gemini, which Gemini rules a lot of our day-to-day communications and activities and gadgets. Gemini rules friendship and our siblings, our cousins, all forms of communication. So me communicating right now, speaking, writing, social media, texting, calling, social events, public speaking, all forms of communication. And Gemini is also short distance travel and our local community and information, books, taking in information. So all of the Gemini areas of life are being really, really illuminated by this full moon. But I think the most important thing in particular with this full moon that's going to be illuminated is our relationships, okay? And this is all kinds of relationships. It's not just the Gemini friends, siblings, and cousins, which is what Gemini rules, but it is also lovers, okay? Because we've got Venus in one of her home signs of Libra conjunct the South Node, past life lovers, karmic relationships, and family members, because this full moon is happening at a Cancer degree of 4 degrees. So our parents, our children, our aunts, our uncles, our grandparents, all family members. And so this is conversations being highlighted in all our relationships. And I really feel like we have Mercury, the dispositor of this full moon, because Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, in his fall sign of Sagittarius, exactly square Neptune. The planet of illusions, lies, deception, not seeing things clearly, fog, in square to the ruler of this full moon. So there can be situations coming up with people, whether it's our friends, our siblings, family members, lovers, business people, workmates, that there can be things coming up where it does not make sense during this full moon, okay? And I'm just going to be honest with you. It might not make sense until after we get out of the influence of this full moon. So just witnessing what is coming up with the people around us, but also we also need to always take responsibility for ourselves, why we may be attracting certain people around us or attracting certain repeating patterns in relationships, okay? And this is dealing a lot with karmic relationships with Venus conjunct the South Node. So with this being a full moon, this is definitely some of us out there are going to be going through releasing relationships that no longer serve in love, in friendship, in work, in maybe even family in some very intense situations. So just being mindful of that. So I think a really good way to, work with this energy is to be as clear and grounded as possible with your communication. And also during the time of this full moon. Because also, even outside of relationships, Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, is social media and the exchanging of information. So around this full moon, me personally, you guys, anything on social media or online or on the news or through any exchange of information that comes out, that's like a really big story, it's square to Neptune. I'm personally not going to be buying it unless it's completely grounded in reality, because there's probably going to be some really big deception trying to be pushed, okay, through the media. And this is at the Mercury Neptune square is at a Pisces degree of 24 degrees. And Neptune, of course, is the ruler of Pisces in his home sign of Pisces. So this could have something to do with the medical system, with spirituality, the spiritual community, the arts, the entertainment or artistic community. So just paying attention to those areas and what is being presented, projected at us, and we don't need to just believe something right away just because, the news says it or some really nice looking TikTok or Facebook post says it, right? So it is a heavy full moon. We can work with it by communicating clearly, by also doing work around forgiveness in relationships, taking accountability in the relationships we're attracting. Also, how we're showing up in relationships, that can be really illuminated. Maybe there's a way that we're showing up in relationships that is not really positive or nice to other people around us. So being honest and taking accountability for that. There is a really nice aspect in this full moon. There is something that's kind of nice, which is that Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, right, is in a perfect trine to the North Node in Aries, which is what collectively we are aiming for. Is the collective focus is honor of self, Aries, honor of our boundaries during the time North Node is in Aries, and self-empowerment. So this is a really big full moon in terms of our journey with the North Node in Aries transit right now, around release of relationships, even beliefs that do not serve us for our personal and collective destiny. So we are being supported by the North Node in this full moon. Important to note. So let me know what you guys think about all that, what I shared with this full moon in the comments. And, Gemini is speaking, writing. It's a good full moon to be journaling, doing journaling, automatic writing, chanting, things where we are using our voice practices, speaking out gratitude, whatever things you feel. So, okay, I'm going to pull some cards for how we can navigate this week and our overall spiritual guidance for this Mars square Saturn, this full moon in Gemini, entering Sagittarius season. It feels like we have to go through a little bit of a initiatory first week in Sag before we can get some of the really nice, positive, energies of the Sag season. So let's see what the cards have to say about this week. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to pull from a couple of my decks. Wow, you can't make this stuff up. Okay, so from my Starseed Oracle, we've got Whale and Orca Elders Such a cool card. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So one way we can navigate the energies of this week is I'm feeling like sound healing from this, singing, listening to uplifting music, music that makes us feel good. You know, the music that we listen to has a really big effect on our vibration. So if we're listening to music that doesn't really make us feel good after we listen to it, that can lower our frequency. So paying attention to that, but I'm also feeling like singing out what you are releasing or doing chanting meditation or, um, intuitive toning, maybe listening to the frequency of whales. I'm definitely going to do that after pulling this card. There's lots of on YouTube or Spotify, like meditations where you can listen to the sound of whales and see what comes up and gets revealed when we do that. And whales are like wisdom keepers of the planet. So that's powerful. We're diving deep. We're entering deep territory. We've also got the star bathing card, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Every time I'm pulling cards in the last few days, we're getting cards that say activation. So I feel like this full moon in Gemini, and even this Mars square Saturn this week is activating us to step into the beauty of Sagittarius season, to step into being in a deeper commitment to the North Node in Aries, which is self-empowerment. And I'm hearing Spirit say, when was the last time you went outside and looked up at the stars and spent some time just looking up at the stars? So that's something we can do to help us ground and get through the energies of this week. And then from my astrology cards, we got Venus and Mars, which are both very, very highlighted this week. Of course, the Venus conjunct the South Node. So some of us are, having our love lives illuminated big time. And, some relationships being released. And Mars, it's like a little bit of a conflictive energy with that Mars square Saturn. So this is interesting because this is the masculine Mars and the feminine Venus. Isn't that interesting? So I'm hearing Spirit say, like, how can we balance our masculine and our feminine more? What side do you think you have more open? And is there something that you can do to bring into balance your masculine and feminine side? Okay. So if we are too sensitive, if we're too much in the woo, so to speak, that's our feminine side. If we are overworking, if we are not paying attention to our emotional needs, to our self-care, that is the masculine side. So doing a check-in, what side are you more tuned into? Does there need to be some balancing going on with that? So that's a cool message. And I'm also going to pull some Astro dice. Let's see what our Astro dice messages for this week. Wow. So, wow, we've got South Node in Taurus. And the South Node with this full moon is going to be, oops, sorry, you guys. Where's the Taurus symbol? Here it is. The South Node is going to be conjunct Venus, which is the ruler of Taurus, very much about our values and love. So this is a lot of karmic South Node relationships and issues coming up this week. So I'm hearing Spirit say, like, if you feel like you're going crazy, you're really attracted to someone, or there's a situation, relationship you can't let go, most likely it's a karmic tie. So coming at it from that awareness, healing it from that awareness can really, really help, because karmic relationships, past life relationships with people that we've known before, can feel like an what was the right word I wanted to say? Like an uncontrollable urge to be with someone that might be on a completely different frequency than us, might be on completely different values, Taurus, than us. So a spirit saying check in our relationships with people's values and how they respect you. And that can be a sign for if it's truly in alignment or not in terms of our relationship. So I hope that resonated with you guys. Let me know what you think about what I have shared for this week. And before finishing up, I want to mention again, my personal consultations are available over at maisonjupiter.com if any of you are interested in that. And also, Julie and I are going to be doing another live class of our Astrology Foundations course on beyondmystic.academy this Friday, which is going to be on the sign of Virgo and all the planetary placements in Virgo. So if you haven't heard about this Astrology Foundations course that Julie and I are doing over at Beyond Mystic Academy, and you want to learn more astrology, get into the Foundations astrology, go check that out. We're having so much fun with it. And there's a lot of pre-recorded classes in the beginning, but all the live classes, we're going week by week on Fridays through each of the signs and the planetary placements through the signs. And of course, if you're not able to catch a live class, all the classes are available for replay. So no worries about that. And thank you to everyone who's in our course. You guys are all awesome and such a positive energy, so open to learning and expanding and sharing the astrological knowledge with yourself and others. So we love you guys very, very much. And I want to say thank you all so, so much for watching this week's Beyond Astro. I hope you enjoyed this forecast and sending so much cosmic love your way. Mwah. We'll see you next week and have a absolutely magical